Mom always said I had a face for radio.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
What's up, everybody? My name's Ben. Welcome back to the Lifted Civic project. Today, we're under the 1999 Honda CR-V that we got, and we have gone ahead and pulled the drive shaft out, and we also got out the differential out of the bag, disconnected the axles and the carrier for the differential. We've got a few things coming up on that, so be sure to stay tuned. Right now, what we're currently looking at. So we got the car up in the air, took notice of a few things, interesting things like the front sway bar and links were disconnected. The sway bar was still there, it was just not hooked up. I'm looking at it right now, it's completely off on the side with nothing connected to it. But the back one was connected, so that was interesting, just a little tidbit. And then we were also kind of browsing the Honda Tech forums and looking back at some projects that people have done in the past with these cars and trying to figure out, like, are there any major issues that we're gonna run into, specifically with like clearances to the frame. And some people are saying yes, some people are saying no, but I don't think we're really worried about it at this point. We can always cut up the Civic to make it exactly what we need it to be. Another crucial piece is we're looking at the linkage at the bottom of the transmission for the shifter. Since this is going to be an automatic built car, we're needing to have the stock cable from the EK be able to work so that we can get it to shift here instead of on the column. The CR-V is a column shifted vehicle, and it's not really optimal for what we're trying to do with the car. I like where it's positioned in the Civic. I really don't like where it is on the CR-V, and if at all possible, I'd really like to use the stock cables and whatnot from the Civic instead of the CR-V here. And from what we can see, it looks like it's pretty much similar at very least. So fingers crossed, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Another couple things that we noticed whenever we got under here was like, we have a bash bar that's right here, the factory. And it's not like a true bash bar or anything like that, but it is like a really neat piece, and I'd love to be able to integrate something like this onto the Civic, and as well as a trailer hookup at the rear. So I'd love to be able to take that off and see if we can get it to work in the Civic as well, and maybe pull a trailer with it. Who knows? We'll see. But those are plans later on down the road. As far as everything else goes, we've got some parts on the way, some parts that have already been delivered that you'll see in a later episode. It's mostly cosmetics and pieces like that, but we've got some great things coming up here very soon that I can't wait to share. We've got sponsors, parts, everything kind of in the works right now. At this point, there's more than likely going to be a part 2 of this episode that we'll be uploading to the same part of this. So if there is, I'll cut to that right now. Okay, so it's day 2 of this video, and the car is now at this level. We started working on the front and got so very close to getting everything pulled out. But unfortunately, the last 2 motor mount bolts on the driver's side are just welded with rust. And I mean, like, they're completely rusted out. Most of what we dealt with today was completely rusted out. We cut off the exhaust right after the header so we could gain access to stuff. Pulled the driver's side axle, which was a pain on this one as it was on the Civic, and started removing all of the unnecessary bits in order to drop this engine out from the bottom. But our problem continues to be rust. But it's okay, we've got those bolts soaking in PB right now. So tomorrow, Jake's probably going to come over here and just get them off and get this engine on the ground. This is the jack right here. The engine's being held on by this and the one mount with the 2 rusty bolts holding it in. So this should be out tomorrow, and probably get some footage of that over on the Slightly Mangled YouTube channel, so be sure to look out for that. if you look at the render of the Civic, you'll notice that on the back side, I'll try to put up a photo right now and zoom in so you can see it. There's a snorkel on there, and we ended up ordering a snorkel for a Toyota Land Cruiser, and it's what all the CRV guys use. So I was like, oh, I'll order one for the Civic without even measuring anything. And turns out the front fenders on a Honda CRV and a Honda Civic are the exact same length from the top where the door meets the fender all the way to the corner of the headlight over here as well. It's like 3 feet and ½ an inch. So if it fits on the CRVs, it should fit on the Civic. And we're gonna do a bunch of piping work and stuff in there to make it work and be airtight and, you know, waterproof with an inline filter. That's gonna be a really fun process. We're also looking at doing mounts and suspension work and a bunch of stuff coming up here very, very soon. As soon as we get this swap out of here, we're gonna put wheels on the suspension that's already been put back together for the most part. Roll this out, roll the Civic back in while we have all the parts in the engine, and just start looking at sizing of every part, swapping over what we need to, and ordering what we need to. It's gonna be a lot of really, really cool parts that are gonna be on order for this thing, and a lot of people are showing interest in this. And you know, while we can't say exactly who they are just yet, just know that we appreciate all these people that are interested in the car right now. And thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check back next week and see if we can get some progress made on the Civic and see what all cool stuff we find out and what all we get in. So catch you in the next one. We'll see you later.